morning, it's Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the moving averages, the MACDs and the support and resistance levels. It is Friday the 24th of July. Jumping straight in and looking at Bitcoin against the dollar, we've got the hourly candlesticks, slightly bearish start to the day. Bitcoin's going to need to avoid a pullback through the pivot at 95.92. Support around the first major resistance level sitting at 97.09. Going to need to see support from the broader market to break out from yesterday's high that was 96.85.4. So barring a broad-based crypto rally, that first major resistance level should cap any upside. Fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 9,500 into play. Barring an extended sell-off should see Bitcoin avoid sub 9,300. Got the second major support level sitting at 93.81. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a bearish crossover there. So a Bitcoin pullback through that pivot would bring 9,500 and below into play. Moving averages, slight widening from the 50 and the 100 and 200. So as always, that pivot will be key through the morning. Moving across to EOS against the dollar, it's also a bearish start to the day. EOS is going to need to move through the pivot at 266.13 to support a run on this first major resistance level that sits at 269.03. Barring a broad-based crypto rally on the day, that first major resistance level in yesterday's high, sitting at 69.51, should cap any upside. A breakout should see EOS break through to 2.7 levels on the day. Failure to break through that pivot will bring the first major support level sitting at 62.75 into play. Barring an extended sell-off, however, should see EOS avoid sub 2.6 levels. Second major support level sits at 59.85. Looking at the MACD, we got a widening of the bearish histogram, suggestive of a possible pullback on the day. And we're seeing the 50 begin to look to narrow against the 100 and 200. So a move through to 266 levels will be key to support a run of those major resistance levels and avoid a reversal. Moving across to Ethereum against the dollar, tracking the broader market, slightly bearish start to the day as well. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid a pullback through the pivot at 272.80 to support a run of this first major resistance level, sitting at 285.49. Support from the broader market to break out from yesterday's high that was at 282.60. So barring a broad-based crypto rally on the day, that first major resistance level should hint Ethereum back from 290s on the day. Fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 263s into play. Barring an extended sell-off should see Ethereum avoid the 23.6% fib, sitting at 257. Looking at the MACD, we had a bearish crossover late yesterday and a widening of the histogram, suggesting a pullback through the morning. Widening of the moving averages, the 50 from the 100 and 200, however, suggests a possible reversal of the early loss. So avoiding a pullback through the pivot will be key through the morning. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the dollar. It's a bearish start to the day. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fall through the pivot at 2073 to support a run on this first major resistance level sitting at 21.25. Going to need to see support from the broader market, however, for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 21s. So barring a broad-based crypto rally on the day, Thursday's high sitting at 21.096 and the first major resistance level should cap in the upside. Fall through back through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 20.36 into play. Barring an extended sell-off should see Ripple's XRP avoid second major support level sitting at 1984. Looking at the MACD, we had a bearish crossover and we've got a widening of the bearish histogram, suggesting a pullback through the morning. EMAs, the 50 widening from the 100 and 200, however, that bullish trend should continue. So avoiding a fall back through the pivot would support a reversal of the early loss. Key, however, will be for Ripple's XRP to avoid that first major support level sitting at 2036.